may I say thirdly, this zeal requires perseverance. Notice what he says here in verse number 3. He says, "Yet have I sent the brethren, lest our boasting of you should be in vain in this behalf, that as I said, ye may be ready, lest happily they of Macedonia come with me and find you unprepared. We," notice what he says, "we, that we say not ye, should be ashamed in this same confident boast." Paul says, I'm sending some brothers before us. I'm sending some people to you to prepare this offering, because he says you were zealous about this, and now your zeal affected other people, but now I'm encouraging you. And he says, if we show up and you don't have anything, you haven't prepared anything, he said, it's not just you that's going to be ashamed. He said, we. Paul said, I'm right here in this with you. He said, we will be ashamed because you're not ready. You're not doing what you said. You see, it requires perseverance. He says, he sent the brethren lest our boasting of you should be in vain, that ye may be ready. That's why he says, verse 5, therefore I thought it necessary to exhort the brethren that they would go before unto you and make up beforehand your bounty, whereof ye had noticed before, that the same might be ready as a matter of bounty and not as of covetousness. He says, man, you've got to persevere through this. Yeah, I know it's been a year and maybe some difficult things have happened, but you've got to maintain that zeal. You've got to keep that fire for the things of God. Don't just get discouraged. Don't just decide to quit. Man, you've got to persevere. If you're going to have that zeal that's going to inspire others, you've got to keep going. You've got to persevere even when it is difficult. Even when it is hard, you've got to keep going. You've got to keep following the Lord. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. You keep following God. You think about David, when David had gone out to battle and he comes back to Ziklag, and what does David find? He finds that the city has been destroyed and that his family has been taken captive, and all the men that are with him that had gone out to battle, all their families have been taken captive. And I would say that would probably be a kind of a discouraging time for David. In fact, it was so discouraging that he began to hear that his men wanted to kill him. I'd say that's kind of discouraging. You know, if I heard whispers that Shane and Brother Joel wanted to kill me, I'd be a little discouraged. You know, be a little discouraged about that. You know what the Bible says David did? David didn't be like, oh man, everybody's against me, everybody hates me, so I'm just going to quit, I'm just going to give up. No. The Bible says David encouraged himself in the Lord. He encouraged himself in the Lord. It was his walk with God that got him through that.